an attack on shipping lanes, on trade routes, even if, in this instance, it's apparently just for drills. But it's clear that we have considerable potential for tension here, and that's why it's good if negotiations are held in Iran and results are reached there as quickly as possible.
A new flashpoint is emerging in one of the world's most critical waterways. Germany's defense minister, Boris Pistorius, has warned of a significant potential for tension after Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz for military drills, a move that has sent ripples through global security circles. Speaking during a visit to Germany's Special Forces Command in Calw, Pistorius said the development has no immediate military impact on Germany, but described it as a clear show of strength at a sensitive diplomatic moment. He suggested the closure reflects a familiar strategy, signaling power while negotiations unfold elsewhere, particularly as US-Iran talks continue in Geneva. Still, the minister made clear that the situation carries risk.
I am truly delighted to be here today at the Special Forces Command, the KSK, right here in Calw. The last time I was here was in August of 23. You know, this is one of our Army's top elite units, designated for truly exceptional, highly important, and usually very dangerous operations. I know very well, and today I was once again able to convince myself of the truly extraordinary, special, not to mention, in many cases, even unique capabilities that the KSK possesses, and how exceptionally professionally the work is carried out here. Since its establishment, the KSK has been repeatedly called upon for significant deployments, missions and operations. KSK members have very specific duties and possess unique skills. Their duties range from reconnaissance to evacuation. And what I just saw, especially concerning reconnaissance, has quite impressed me. Now, with this historic turning point and the new security situation we face in Europe, the demands placed upon us are also undergoing a significant change. The requirements for the KSK are also changing once more. In addition to international crisis management and alongside potential evacuation operations, national defense and alliance defense are now the primary focus. And that is the core mission for which the KSK is preparing itself. Another key aspect distinguishing the KSK is its innovation capability. The Special Forces test and utilize the most modern systems not yet in use anywhere else, long before they are widely deployed in the troops. It's about personal equipment, which of course is always the top priority. It's about weaponry, it's about electronic means, and it's about communication. And the experiences that the KSK gathers from this then provide crucial impulses for its broader implementation within the armed forces, thereby strengthening the Bundeswehr as a whole during these challenging times. This, in my assessment, will initially have no impact on the military situation in Germany. It is, I believe, the typical course of action in such situations, an attempt to demonstrate strength in a situation where negotiations are taking place elsewhere. This is an attack on shipping lanes, on trade routes, even if, in this instance, it's apparently just for drills. But it's clear that we have considerable potential for tension here, and that's why it's good if negotiations are held in Iran and results are reached there as quickly as possible.
The German defense minister's remarks came after Iran announced it had temporarily closed the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow mouth of the Persian Gulf, during live-fire military exercises in the strategically vital waterway. Roughly 20% of the world's oil supply passes through that corridor, making it one of the most critical choke points in the global economy. Analysts say the move amounts to a forceful warning about the potential economic fallout if the United States follows through with threats of military action as tensions between Washington and Tehran continue to mount.
Iran remains fully prepared to defend itself against any threat or act of aggression. The consequences of any attack against Iran will not be confined to its borders.
Iran has temporarily closed parts of the strategic Strait of Hormuz for several hours, citing security precautions during live-fire military drills. But this move could have serious consequences, which comes at a time that Iranian officials hold their second round of indirect talks with the United States over the nuclear program in Geneva. It's the first time in years that Tehran has announced such a closure of this key international waterway, through which nearly 20% of the world's oil passes. The timing and impact of Tuesday's closure were not immediately known. Iranian media said it would be for several hours for safety and maritime concerns. Now, why does this matter? The Strait of Hormuz is a narrow passageway only about 33 kilometers wide at its tightest point. It connects the Persian Gulf to the Gulf of Oman, allowing ships to reach the rest of the world. In practical terms, this international waterway is the route that's used for Gulf countries to send oil and gas to markets in Asia. 20% of the world's oil passes through it. Major oil producers in the region, like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Iran itself, rely on it to export crude. Any disruption, even temporary, can heighten geopolitical tensions and send shockwaves through global shipping and energy prices, similar to when Yemen's Houthi rebel group disrupted global shipping in the Red Sea. That's why closures like today's are watched so closely, not just in the region, but around the world.
Times of India videos, your daily dose of India and the world. Global news, different views, and sharp analysis.
Pressure of expectation from your fans, your supporters.
That has often served as a backdrop for several Bollywood.
You're not a brute majority anymore. If you individually take out Tera.
Making sense of global conflicts. Tracking the new emerging world order.
Strike on Israeli military bases.
A multi-pronged.
To stay out of harm's way as Israel started bombing targets across.
Understanding changing alliances in a polarized world. Tune into TOI videos for all this and more. Click on the bell icon to subscribe and never miss an update.